My name is Dean Gabry, and I'm the director of the Best Brothers. We have a very vibrant new play development department, and Daniel was writing a work. We brought him here to do a residency. After 2 days, he wrote, I think maybe 40 pages of this play. And I heard it, and it really got to me. It was about the death of a parent, and I'd recently lost a parent, as had almost everybody involved in this project, which was just one of those things that I think, as far as the universe goes, was quite odd. And I approached Des walking across the parking lot and said, you know, if I have my choice, I think that's the one that I'd really like to focus on. When you're working on a classical piece, you have so much to go on. Even in a piece like Two Gentlemen of Verona, you can go to the archive here at Stratford. There's been 5 other productions. You can look at other cuts, you can look at other edits. There's lots of information and you know, literally hundreds of books to read. And in that kind of process, I generally, after doing all the text work and all of those, putting all those pieces together, I begin a kind of collage, which will kind of carry me through right till the production, which helps with designers and actors and so on. And it's a very visual thing. When you're working on new Canadian work, it's really kind of a high wire act. And you have to have a tremendous amount of faith and belief in the muses, and that you're going to be able to get out of a jam, a literary jam, a playwriting jam, if you get yourself into it. And sometimes just through subtle changes in the script, you can start a chain reaction that you had no idea you'd actually created. It's like, you know, you pull a thread and the whole fabric begins to unwind. And we had a couple of moments of that where we'd made massive switches in where monologues were placed or scenes were placed. And it looks really good from that point on to the end of the play, but then the next day you go back, you read the whole piece and put it in context, and all of a sudden it just doesn't work. You gotta know what to throw out, what not to throw out. And for a playwright also to observe when you're in the room with a living playwright, that when you're asking for a cut or when you're asking for one of those changes, it can be physically painful to them, you know? So you don't necessarily go at it with a chainsaw. It's more of a scalpel or something, you know, that you have to approach it with. So I think that element of it as well, you know, a sensitivity and a generosity of spirit. Not that those things aren't involved in the rehearsal room in classical theater, but you really have to have a trust. And if things go wrong and you break that trust, the stakes are a little bit higher, you know. How can you bruise a playwright or insult a playwright and ask them to trust you as an actor? So it's a delicate process, and one, as I say, that takes a tremendous amount of faith by everybody.